Today's presentation is continued from last time, where we just introduced the M&E plan, and now we're getting into the depths of it. But again, this will be two-part because we don't want to keep them too long for you. So this will be part A. In this presentation is the summary of a project. We'll look into the purpose of the plan, the evaluation framework, and the indicator system. And all these are parts of the M&E plan. Getting into it. Now, remember when we talked about the project plan and in your M&E documents, because M&E documents are, in as much as it might seem like it's one document, it's actually a collection of them, but you need to have the summary of the project. So this might even be one sheet or a small document to show. So the M&E team must understand what the project is about. They need to know, in summary, what it is about, what the intentions are, and the manner in which it's supposed to be implemented. Because, of course, you cannot monitor or evaluate something that you don't know about. So you really need to understand the aspects, what it's about, the intentions, and how it's supposed to be implemented. In this, it must include the objectives or the results that are expected in the project. It should include the implementation plan, of course, the responsibilities, who is doing what and when, dates and duration. So start dates, end dates, duration, and there will be a number of dates which are significant during the project management cycle, and the M&E needs to know. The plan actually needs to involve these. And the geographic focus, where is the project being implemented? Because of course, I think I've said this before, if it's going to be produced, geographically speaking, projects will never be the same. And of course, the resources must be included. We want to know what is available, what will be needed, etc., etc. Now, the purpose of the M&E plan must be explicit. It must be stated, and it should be stated in such a way that whoever gets their hands on it understands the trajectory of the assessment to be done. So how far is this assessment? What is being looked at? And it should, I believe in simplicity. The purpose of a plan should be simple for the stakeholders to understand, all stakeholders. So you're not just going to look at just the professionals, people, the financiers and all that. The basic stakeholders should know what, how far the monitoring and evaluation plan is going to be assessing. And so you specify the purpose for the M&E plan, the performance processing. So now performance monitoring, you are looking at how well are people conducting or implementing the processes. And then impact evaluation, we will talk more about it, because remember, impact can only be measured or assessed after the period of which the closure of the project would have occurred. Then the evaluation framework is part of the M&E plan. This is probably the the most taxing part. A lot of people don't like it. It is the definitive, but however, it is the definitive guide to how the monitoring and evaluation process should occur to get the best out of the project. So the evaluation framework includes primary components, the levels and units of action. So at what level is an activity happening, and who, all the little units of activity. So causal sequence, if this happens, then that will occur. So the cause and effect sequence. And then component related indicators. So after each activity, this is the indicator of success. This is what, when we say, oh, it's successful, then we move on to the next and to the next. So each of those component related indicators must be part of the monitoring and evaluation plan. Then, of course, this is probably a very difficult part of monitoring and evaluation, and is identifying an indicator system. But in M&E, you must have something that you look forward to for you to say we have achieved a certain part. We can move on to the next, particularly in implementation, right? So an indicator system gives expected outcomes, right? What do you expect? It's not giving you the actual outcomes, but the expected outcomes. And if they match, that is heaven on earth. If it doesn't, then of course that needs to be discussed. So it enables the teams, the project team, as well as the M&E team, to know what they call progress. And the indicator system must name what the indicator is. So if it's painted, house painted, then that's the indicator, or house painted to this color. It might be painted, but that's not the right color. That's not the, therefore it means that the indicator is not being seen, right? It should be descriptive. There should be a description or a definition of the indicator, not just stating the name. And then the unit of measurement. So for example, if we say we want white, is white just white, or you want crisp white? There's a range of whites. If you're going to look at paint as it is, ivory white, egg white, so many. So that unit of measurement needs to be defined. And then your data source. Where is the information of this indicator of the indicators coming from? Is it coming from a primary source, so like the person who is working or dealing with it on the ground, or it's coming from someone else who has been told, who's been reported to, and then they report to the M&E team? All right, so today that just wraps it up. Remember, if you've got any questions, just email to maccafrica@gmail.com. And this presentation is brought to you by Opinion Creativity Consultants. Make sure to join us as we continue to part 2B of the project plan.